We're talking market value of maybe 20,000, give or take, just in these pieces.
Yeah.
That is one of the crazier pieces. Is there more? There's more in this bin?
Yeah, it's full.
Jesse is back, and he has brought some sealed Pokemon. I don't know what you brought me,
Okay.
but I'm excited to look at it. Let's dive in.
Mix of everything. So let's go ahead and just open the tote and let's see what we have.
So yeah, we're gonna try and see if we can maybe make some deals, if he wants to sell any of it, but even if I don't buy a bunch of it, it's gonna be an incredibly cool.
So we've got, let's start off with some tins.
Oh, what year are these from?
That's gonna be
These
the
are older.
oldest one, yeah. It's gonna be black and white era.
2013 tin, are you kidding me?
We've
Good
got
night.
the double crisis
Ooh.
blisters, and for those of you that don't know, the only way that you could get these booster packs is in this blister. They didn't put them in tins, they didn't put them in booster boxes. You couldn't buy them in individual sleeves. The only way that these came was in this set.
There's 4 packs in there.
There's 4 packs,
yeah.
and there are only 2 variants available. The one with Team Aqua and Team Magma pins. So
Dang.
I have both of them. And then we've got black and white booster. Just like I said, a good mix. You know, I heard you like Pokemon, so this is really cool just because of the promo is a good one.
Nice, yeah.
And then same thing with this one. You know, this promo card alone was selling for 100 plus at one point in time.
It was just chilling right there.
Yep, just chilling.
That's a breakpoint pack. Oh wow,
The
Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl blister. Dragon Majesty. We've got the Platinum poster pack sealed. I don't know if you have this, but I know you were collecting the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. So I've got that one.
Crown Zenith.
I've got the Hidden Fates ETB.
I love that ETB.
Steam Siege
Oh, man.
booster box. And Unbroken Bonds.
Okay.
Hanger pack. And then 2 things. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, and I believe it was on video, this got offered to you at, I think it was the very first tour or the second one that we met.
Oh wow.
So it's the sealed top deck
Oh yes.
magazine.
Holy cow.
And it's like, I believe there is a clip out there of when you had the opportunity to maybe buy this.
Probably should have.
You probably should have. And then last but not least, of just this tote, is the Platinum
gosh,
magazine
dude.
with the Platinum pack attached.
What in the world?
If you want to keep going, we can get everything laid out, or do you want to start with this?
Yeah, we'll start here. I mean,
Okay.
certainly that is one of the crazier pieces. So this is a sealed bag for it?
Yeah, they
and
are
everything.
sealed.
Golly. So it's a fossil pack with the not for play jumbo card. What do you know what jumbo card
I have
that
no
is?
clue.
I'm sure there might be a lot of people that know just by seeing it like that, but maybe not. Maybe it could be random ones. And then yeah, that's very interesting too. I love the unique nature of those, and I'm sure you do too.
And like I said, I bought these years ago, and it was, again, this whole MO of how I collect. I like the unique one-off things that you're not seeing every day, and that's how I acquired the sealed magazines. And we were talking about this in an earlier video, leaving price tags on items. If you could take a look, that magazine got sold for $5.99 right here at EB Games at one point in time. So I'd say it's a little bit, you know, more than $5.99.
More than that, that's for sure. I'll tell you the items that I'm most interested in from here, because I do want to get some collection pieces in this day. But these I really like. I love the way they look. I love Kyogre Groudon. I love that it's both of them, so the full set. They display really nicely. I'm not the hugest fan of tins, just because sometimes it's hard to tell which packs are inside of them.
Yeah.
And maybe you can look it up and find it out, but I like being able to see exactly what.
Yeah, because
what you
and
get.
I know most of these are tried and true, but there was like a Hidden Fates era tin where they did like a Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, where depending on what number was on it, could have came with like Hidden Fates, or it could have came with like black and white packs. So yeah, but like some of the older packs, I mean, obviously this comes with black and white, and I believe at one point I found a video on YouTube of someone opening it, of what packs came inside.
Yep. Yeah, well, that would be helpful. And then I think you might guess the other 3 things I'm mainly interested in. The booster box. My booster box collection, it's not anywhere close to where I want it to be.
Okay.
And I need to make some big plays on some of the older booster boxes because that's towards the top of my list.
I think I could help with that.
Yeah? What is there more? There's more in this bin?
Yeah, it's full.
Okay, well, I want those too, but let's see what else you got.
Okay.
You have me very intrigued. Should I stay over here? Are you going to go one by one? Okay.
I know you were doing your ETB collection. So we've got some more ETBs.
Okay, Darkness Ablaze. I have that one.
We got the Pokemon Center exclusive.
Lost Origin.
Another Pokemon Center
Okay,
exclusive.
Astral Radiance.
And
Nice.
the Steam Siege. I don't know if you have that one.
Ooh, you might have got me on that one.
The Fates Collide.
Oh, yeah, you definitely got me on that one.
And then
Those
Fates
are
Collide, we
older.
have the Fates
Oh
Collide
my goodness.
booster box. We've got the Celestial Storm booster box.
Jeez, the booster box.
And then, again, there was at one point in time that I believe these were offered to you. And I believe it was at Torg.
Yep.
And this is, they've done very well as far as aging goes. I remember at one point, I think I had this for maybe a few thousand.
Yeah, probably 2,200 maybe.
But hopefully you're not disappointed. That's all I have as far as
I'm
sealed
not
Pokemon
disappointed
goes.
at all. So the things certainly that we're going to talk about are going to be this Plasma Blast booster box, Fates Collide, Celestial Storm, and the emerging powers. I know I have these ETBs.
Okay.
I do not have these two. Almost certainly I don't have those two. So that's going to be what I'm most interested in. So I'd like to set aside, let's clear the stuff I'm not interested in, and we'll work on the stuff that I am.
Sounds good.
All right. So here we have the things that I am interested in. And, doing the math here, just off the cuff, I think we're talking market value of maybe 20,000, give or take, just in these pieces.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right, which is, it's crazy to think. There's
It
just
is, dude.
20 grand on this one table.
Even a year ago, it might have been under 10,000.
Yeah.
Like, really, 2025 was crazy for Pokemon. What we were kind of saying is, like, as we're having lunch and hanging out on your trip up here, like, this stuff is truly scarce. Like, the Double Crisis stuff, the black and white stuff, Pokemon sealed stuff from 2004 really to 2015, it's really hard to find. And it's only going down because people are ripping it, shipping it.
Yep, there's whatnot
having
streams.
big,
They're doing the pack buy-ins, and
Right.
I said that you don't see collections like this coming up where more of these are coming to market. Does it happen? Of course, but
Once in a
it's
while.
not. It's not how it is now, where the stuff's still being printed. Everyone's buying it to hold on to.
Yeah, right. People weren't doing that here, so this is true scarcity.
Yep.
And that's why, that is part of the reason I like it, but also it's just like, it's really cool to see like a Celestial Storm booster box. The most expensive piece we have here is this black and white Plasma Blast booster box. I think last time you were here, it was 2,200, 2,500 range. Now the last sale on that was $8,000.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It feels good, and
Yeah.
because the coolest thing about it is I remember when I got those. I have a pretty good recollection of what I paid for them.
What do you think you paid, just
So
as you continue? But
there's two of them. So this one, I believe, is around 1,500 range, and this one would around 2 to 2,500.
Okay.
But it was a trade value. So
Okay.
this was when the market was kind of getting crazy. I was trying to be on top of it as much as I can, and I was buying these Celestial Storm ATBs in abundance.
oh wow,
And I was getting them for like $50, and they were selling for 150, and they kept shooting up. So I traded like 6 of them, plus it was like $500 for that box.
wow.
And so at the time,
Yeah.
I probably only have 1,500 into it, probably $2 grand into both of them.
That's pretty good.
And
That's
it's
pretty
something
good.
that,
That's
like I
cool.
said, it has been put away that I've forgot about. I've had people reach out trying to buy them. I'm in the position where I don't necessarily need to sell them. And because of that fact, now we're sitting here, and that $3 grand booster box is now worth $8 grand.
Yeah,
And-
that worked out well for you. Yeah, I'm happy that has worked out so well. So this one, there's not many recent sales, but I'm gonna say it's probably 4.
I did find a recent
Oh, did
sale
you?
for 5. There was one.
5?
The most recent was 5. It was $4.99 change, and there was another one for, I believe, $4,500.
Okay, so somewhere in that range. Is this around 1,000?
I believe, yeah. And we
that
can double
range?
check, but
XY.
that one it's not a very desirable set per se, because
Right.
there's not a ton of like hits, but
Yep.
it is still a
The
cool
booster
set,
box.
especially if you are trying to collect the whole booster box collection.
Yeah, and then these are even more, and this is the pretty desirable. Both of these are pretty desirable ETBs.
Yeah,
which
and-
you have
and-
boosters and ETBs. for.
And that's one of the weirdest things with Pokemon, because this we found for around 1,000 plus, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is almost worth more than this Steam Siege booster box, which
Yes.
contains 36 packs, and this has 9 in it. And it's one of those things that the scarcity of it behind it, the people collecting the ETBs, is what generates that value. It's not necessarily the packs that are inside.
Yeah, the ETB is the collectible, which is to me, like, I think the ETBs are really cool, and I do want all those, and that's actually the collection that I have a pretty good dent on.
Yeah.
Boosters, like I said, I still really don't have anything. So if I can like walk out of here with at least one of these booster boxes and maybe a couple ETBs and some other pieces, I would be pretty happy.
I would also be pretty happy.
All right, well, you got to talk to me then, because
Okay.
you know what you would sell them for. I haven't participated in the market of high-end sealed all that much.
Yeah.
Outside of buying like a few huge collections of more modern stuff. So tell me, like, as you're vending and stuff, like the offers that you think you could easily get, what offers you would be happy to take today, stuff like that.
So on sealed vintage in particular, usually if someone even comes around 80%, it would be off the table for me in most cases. Because of like the factors we spoke about earlier, the growth of all these items has been, I don't want to say astronomical, but they've continued to grow up at a steady rate.
Yeah.
So if I am in a position where I don't necessarily need to sell it at that time, you know, if someone wants to offer me 80%, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Because, you know, if it's, let's say it's a 10 grand box and, you know, they're offering me 8 grand essentially at 80%, that's a $2,000 loss per se. So that I do take that into account. You know, then when you start getting up around the 90% range, makes more sense because a lot of these items isn't something I want to sell online.
Yeah,
most of
then
these
you got
sales,
the fees online too.
The fees online, and it's just so many of the vintage booster boxes, the sales happen off market because there are so many, you know, Pokemon conventions now and trade shows going on. So it makes more sense to sell there where you're not getting hit with the fees. You're not having to worry about shipping damage. If is someone going to open it and try to send it
way
back?
Risky. I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
and it's honestly it's like I've seen the Pokemon market in some videos and stuff of other people vending, and it's crazy because if somebody offered me 80% on just about any video game that is significant value, in many cases I'm taking it. In almost every case, most vendors would be like, that's a fair offer, and they would take it or at least consider it. Pokemon is a different monster when you're talking, I mean, this is high-end vintage, like older sealed, so it is like, it's got that next level of rarity, but it's pretty surprising to hear you say you would have to pretty much be in that 85-90 range for you to even consider it.
Yeah, because, and like you said, 80% offer on video game stuff is usually a really great offer.
Especially if it's a collection.
Because
insanely
sometimes,
good offer.
and most people on average at game stores or wherever you may buy are buying around 50 to 60%.
And that would be good game stores.
Yes, exactly. So Pokemon is a completely different world where most buys happen around 80, 85, even 90%. There's people that do these buyouts at 90%, you know, especially if you do have the platform, like, you know, these streamers that do rip and ships on whatnot that are getting more than MSRP per pack. So it's like they can buy that 8 grand booster box, part out every pack that's in there.
Yeah, get some attention.
And get more.
What factor do you think the mystery product builders play into this?
Yeah, that's a whole
Mystery
other
sealed
aspect.
packs, mystery graded cards.
And I've dealt with it personally as well, where people will come and they'll buy out my slabs.
Okay.
Not just my PSA 10s, my 9s, my 8s, my 6s, and up. They'll make an offer on it because they do these mystery slabs where they'll pack in that PSA 6 with the chance to get a PSA 10. So yeah, that's another factor that does play heavily in the Pokemon market.
Do you think that's a good or a bad thing for collectors, for the market?
It depends I think it's bad a little bit for a collecting standpoint because it does make the value of everything kind of go up. But from if you're a vendor standpoint, it just gives you another avenue to sell to someone if you're open to it. I know some people won't sell to another reseller, won't sell to a whatnot, where I don't mind. You know, and it's the same thing if I'm selling to an Amazon guy that they can pay more. These guys know the platform that they have at their access, and then they can pay this certain amount. That's fine, because I'm going to give them the price that I'm comfortable with. What they do with it after that,
you don't care.
I do not care.
Okay, right on. I want to buy at least one of these booster boxes. I'll tell you, 8,000 range is kind of scary to me because that's just crazy. I still would be curious what you would sell it for. Sounds to me like you're saying 7,200. You might consider it.
Yeah.
Okay. Celestial Storm. I know I have the ETB, so I'm kind of drawn to that because I can pair it in my collection.
Okay.
I like that. I have the Plasma Storm ETB, which is like the OG one, but I don't have Plasma Blast, which is a bummer. And that is an option, right, Alpal? Plasma Blast has an ETB?
Yes.
He confidently said yes.
Yeah, because there's one that has Lugia on it, and then I think the other one has Mewtwo on it.
Let's just look it up. Plasma Blast ETB. Because if I had that one already, I would be pushing to get that. So that one is this one.
The Genesec, okay.
Yep. So that's the one I have right there. Golly, $14,000 now. That's insane, Jesse.
What'd you buy it for? Do you remember?
I think it was like $6,500.
So more than
lower than $6,500. Alpal bought it on my behalf.
So it's more than doubled since you bought it.
Yeah, and we bought it at what it was worth, basically.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, maybe a little bit of a deal. That's crazy. I like the double crisis packs too, but I also really love this. So this one, this is like goes for around 800. This goes for around, I think it's up to 1,400.
Okay.
And then this is a little over 2,000. I can't remember exactly where it is.
Yeah.
But like on these three, if I was to get to like 85% of market, how would you feel?
So, me in collecting, I'm not a big fan of ETBs, and I haven't been. And the chances that I got those ETBs for MSRP or close is highly likely.
Wow.
So that is something that most vendors might not take into consideration, but I do.
Okay.
So it's like, I know I don't have a ton into those. I know that they're going to go in your collection. So if we were around 85% is something that I would be able to do.
Dang. Okay. Well, let's have that in mind.
Okay.
I still like the Grail pieces, man.
Who doesn't?
I mean, who doesn't?
Because like I said, this might be a conversation where, assuming you're not going to buy both, which is a fair statement, and could have passed up on that one box that's $5,000. I come back next year, and it's $8,000, or it's $10,000.
I know, right? Yeah. I mean, we
you
are living that
never
right
know.
now.
Yeah.
But
like I said, with collecting in general, you kind of have to pick and choose what makes sense for you at that time.
Yep. And I'm only buying stuff that I love and that I want to collect too. And the part where like it's going to at least maintain value or go up, like these are things that I have to consider for like my family.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
For the long term, this is like, I think it's just important to consider both. Not that either one is like the only. Sometimes collecting takes priority, and I don't care at all. But I also like to responsibly consider if I'm spending $10,000.
Yeah. I
don't want that to be worth $1,000 30 years from now.
And with me, it's a weird conundrum because I know what I bought these for. I'm going to sell them for more than I initially paid for them. But looking back at the historical data where every single time someone's had the opportunity to buy them, they weren't necessarily happy with the negotiations where we went back and forth and I walked away from it. Next time they came available for sale, they should have bought them at my price because they've gone up.
Yeah.
So it's been hard for me to part with those two because of that factor. Because it's like I know the chance of them going up and being worth $10,000 each at some point in time is likely.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. It's a risk, but
okay. So if I offered you 85% of market for those two,
and are we calling market 8 and 5 as the most recent sold?
If we called market 8 here and 47.50 here to split those last two sales, and then these are I think around, we'd have to check, but I think they're around 1,500.
Yeah. I think we could talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we see what that actual number looks like?
Yeah. Do some behind the scenes and see what those numbers look like.
So we're locked in 85% here.
Yeah.
And these we're gonna double check market, and we'll see what you think once that number comes.
Yeah.
Okay, we researched the market, and here's what we came up with for value. So 2,000, 1,400, 875. We kind of checked collector, TCG, eBay.
Yeah, you have to cross-reference. Don't just stick to one. This is what the market is. Do your research.
This one was a little higher on recent sales on eBay than collector, for example. 85%, which we kind of agreed to on those, would be $3,633.
Okay.
So is that locked in for these three?
Let's lock that in.
Shake on it. Let's go. Some grails for me, so thank you very much. Now this one valued at $8,000, which is a recent sale. That's a little bit higher than the rest, but you like that one. That's the Plasma Blast.
I do.
85% would be $6,800. So I figured I'd put that individually just for you to consider. And then for these, valued at $1,500. This one, last two sales were $45,000 and $5,000, so we valued it at $4,750. The 85% offer would be $6,587. Together, that would put it over $10,000.
Okay. And this is the decision time.
This is completely up to you. I won't be mad if you don't take it, because that's a terrifying amount of money on Pokemon. But at the same time, I'd be happy if you did take it. So
Okay. Yeah. There's one other throw that I'm gonna have in it. I do think I will keep this one.
Okay.
Just because it's one I've had forever.
it's your Grail, man.
And it is. It's a Grail. You know. And when
I respect it.
I know you had some interest in the Steam Siege, you don't have it. You are gonna buy the ETB.
Yep.
So if we did come in at 80% on that, would you be happy?
I think because I'm getting the ETB, yes, I would do that.
So let's lock in the 80% on that, the 85% on that. We'll call it a day.
Taking all of it. All right, brother. It's
Appreciate
a deal.
it. Yes.
Let's go. So for around $11,000, I am adding to the collection a Celestial Storm booster box, the Steam Siege Elite Trainer box, Fates Collide ETB, Steam Siege booster going with that ETB, and then the Black and White Emerging Powers Insane Grail booster, and the 2 Double Crisis beautiful condition quadruple booster packs from Jesse. And guys, this has been a journey. We've done a lot of videos with you on this trip. We've had a lot of fun. So we have at least one more on this channel on Crew, and then at least 2, maybe 3 videos over on main channel. Chase at the right price.
Yeah, and like I said, I appreciate it. I always enjoy coming up here. Again, I'm Jam Collectibles on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook. If you need to find me, if you see anything in these videos that you might be interested in, feel free to reach out. Even if you just want to chat, I don't mind as well.
Give him a follow. He's posting like some of his crazy finds, and you can always message him if you saw anything in this video. He might entertain offers and is willing to sell. So reach out to Jesse, show him some love. And guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.